As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the president says he is looking to eliminate wasteful spending in the federal government. But that may be at odds with what he's doing to keep another campaign promise.
Jason Allen has been investigating what it's costing American taxpayers to deport immigrants who are in the country illegally.
We shot this video from a dirt ridge outside Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. We could see about 80 men, women, and children, recent arrivals in the U.S., stepping off buses and stepping on to military transport jets. This group was going to Ecuador. 2 days later, Border Patrol and the Army allowed us onto the base for a closer look at another full flight, this time going to Guatemala. Some of the migrants on board traveled for months to get to the U.S. They would return to Central America in 5 hours. It's a move former acting Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director John Sandwig told us was unprecedented.
We never use the military aircraft. I mean, ICE is funded by Congress for up to $1 billion annually for transportation.
CBS News found a single flight on a C-17 can run more than $28,000 per hour. That's more than 3 times what ICE pays on average for its normal charter flights on regular passenger aircraft. So the flight we saw headed to Guatemala cost nearly $300,000. One of at least 15 military flights so far landed in India with a round-trip cost of more than $1 million. Military planes are also carrying migrants to Guantanamo Bay. The first flight on a C-17, which can carry as many as 134 passengers, had about 10 detainees on board, an average cost of more than $20,000 per person. The U.S. military is also expanding a migrant operations center there to hold as many as 30,000 people. In 1994, when 45,000 migrants sheltered at Guantanamo and Panama, government estimates put the cost at nearly $500 million, equivalent to more than $1 billion today.
You know, ICE is well funded when it comes to transportation. It was certainly something that we never needed. We're in an unprecedented era where immigration enforcement has been elevated to the highest levels of U.S. foreign policy and national security.
Jason now joins us from Dallas. Jason, you know, the administration and president supporters would say, yeah, maybe these are big numbers, it's expensive, but there's a justification for this, right?
Right, John, and that is the cost of keeping some of those migrants here. Our own CBS analysis has found it's a couple hundred days for a single, or a couple $100s for a single male for a day. It's double that for a family. We know that cities have put the cost in the billions to house and feed some of these migrants that have moved into the country. So that's what this is being weighed against.
Jason, all of this begs the question, could this be done less expensively?
It could be, Maurice, if you are using some of those charter flights that we talked about, right? But that does have a limited capacity. So then you look again, could you put some more people on some of these flights, especially these early flights to Guantanamo Bay that have had 15 people on them, a dozen people? We know that the administration does want to make those daily flights here in the near future.
And the military use of military planes, of course, sends a deterrence message. Jason, finally, how does this compare to like the Obama years, say, and the deportations that were high during Obama's term?
Sure. Good question. We did get some new numbers today from the administration, and that's the number of ICE arrests since the president has been in office is now up to 11,000. So we can compare that to the Biden administration, which was doing about 300 a day. This translates over, works out to an average of about 500 ICE arrests a day right now.